Public transit suck where I live. It's so bad that it's actually hilarious. And I don't understand why anyone would take it if they can avoid it. Like, seriously. If you have a bike, use it. If you have anything, a car, use it. Public transit takes the worst of it takes the bike speed with the car inconvenience with an added extra price. I really don't understand why anyone would use it. I tried a couple of days ago because my bike was being made. My bike had to get a new deck, so I had to get it made. So I had to take public transit, or the bus. It was so bad. I had to take it for 2 days. And it was so bad that I actually only used it for one. It was expensive. It didn't even get me to where I wanted to be. I had to walk 2 kilometers after that. And yet I was still in the same city. It's not like I was doing intercity travel. But public transit here in this city is so bad. Like, maybe it makes sense to take it in some parts of Copenhagen or something. But still then, it's almost more convenient and definitely cheaper with a bike than with public transit. So it's a mystery to me why anyone would take it over here. And to be fair, not a lot of people do, but a lot of people that you wouldn't expect actually also does at the same time. And I just don't understand why. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any buses that doesn't run hourly. Or less than that. There are some routes that are combined, some parts of the journey, where the frequency is kind of higher. But it's still not really higher. It's still an hourly bus service. And that just makes it so inconvenient. And even when you get on the bus, even if it makes sense timetable wise, we are not going that way, by the way. Even if it makes sense timetable wise, it still doesn't make sense time wise anyway, because the bus is so bloody slow. Like, you can get from one place to another on a bike 10 times before you get there in a bus. The bus is also substantially more slower than just driving. And the main reason is that, also maybe it's because I haven't had anything but bad experiences with the bus operators. Like, it seems like every time you need a bus, it isn't there. Like, you see a bunch of buses drive around in the city. But when you have to get on a bus, you can never find one. And even if the timetables match up, there's about a 75% chance that it is either delayed or entirely cancelled without you even getting noticed about it. Which I think is completely unacceptable and defeats the purpose of a public transit system, at all. I mean, yes, we need a bus system. Otherwise, certain parts of the population would have a ginormous struggle in getting around. See, that actually is one. But as you probably couldn't see, it was completely empty. Why? It runs once an hour and it's probably delayed or something. So, and it doesn't really get you to where you want to go either. And especially not at the speed you want to. If it takes 30 minutes with the bus, it would take like 13 with a bike. And it would take about the same with a car as the bike. And I think it's sad that it is that way. Because a public transit system is actually very important for a city. And yes, I know that we're going around in a triangle. Just deal with it. But a public transit system is very important for a city. And since it's so bad here, it's really tragic actually that people don't use it. And what happens when people don't use a public transit system? Lines get cut, and funding gets cut, everything gets cut, and the service is even worse next time you actually have to use it. And I think that's so sad, Another thing that also really bothers me is actually the price. Like, I'm used to, with my bike, to get around completely for free. And, especially with the bike, it's obvious that it's cheap, but it's actually also more expensive to take the bus than to just drive, I would think, because of, well, I mean, in the systems in place for travel around in cities are so bad. It doesn't really make any sense. And I think it's problematic. I think it's the zone-based. I think it's the zone-based payment that are at fault here. Another thing is that, but again, why would you pay like one IR to not get to where you want on time, have a chance of your bus getting cancelled, so you have to walk anyway, be far enough away from your destination that it's annoying, and with times too infrequent to really just show up with. I mean, if buses were running just every 15 minutes, it would honestly be great. Every 7 or 8 minutes, like they do in Copenhagen, that would be fantastic. I don't think we can do that here, but the feeling of just showing up, knowing that there will come a bus in maybe 5 minutes, it's just very pleasant. Like, you don't have to worry about. Oh, brilliant. Is it just me? Do those mopeds smell so bad? I literally can't breathe around them. They're... But you know, the problem is that people who could be taking public transit goes over because of the infrequencies, because of the price even, and because of all of that, and buys mopeds or bikes or private vehicles. See, there's another biker, or cyclist. There's another one. Already, there was one person with the bus, but already 2-3 people that are out biking. And look at how many are driving. I mean, yeah, driving is probably the most expensive. But honestly, if you can't cycle, which if you can't, you really should just go and die or learn it. I mean, I could not imagine my day-to-day life if I was not able to cycle. It would be horrible. And that's the point. It shouldn't be horrible to not be able to cycle. It shouldn't be you shouldn't be systemically forced to learn to bike. You should be pressured to by your family and friends. Because you can't, if you can't, you're literally an idiot. Anyway, also there are many people that just can't bike, not because they don't want to, or they don't need to, but because of a disability or something, and also can't drive or something. And I also think it's really disrespectful to those people to just say, yeah, we don't need a public transit system. Because what will they do instead? Oh my god. My bike was about to fall over. Or fall over. Well, you could just do like they do. Just take the helicopter, mate. Yeah, easiest way to get around. Not any traffic jams. Boom. You don't get... And it's fast. Boom. Take that. It's probably also expensive though, so you might want to reconsider on that one. But every time I take the bus in this city, I'm reminded of why I don't normally take the bus in this city. Like in the other Danish cities, it's fine to take the bus. But here, it's just so bad. Like, it isn't even half an hour, it's hourly service. The intercity trains are running more frequently than the buses here. Well, they are running as empty though. But you know, that's beside the point. I can literally get to the middle of nowhere by train as frequently as I can get to the city centre of this city by bus. I think that shouldn't be the case. Not that we should cut down service to rural areas by train, but we should invest in public transit in not so rural areas. But I might often call this out in the countryside and far out from Copenhagen and other stuff. But ultimately, it's still a city. It's still the 5th biggest city in Denmark. It should at least have a decent public transit system. I mean, I get if you don't want to take public transit in a city with literally 2,000 people. But it shouldn't be the case that public transit is too bad in a city of 75,000. That's just stupid, man. I'm getting really tired in both my arms, to be honest. I've walked around with this bloody bike for like a kilometre or two. Before that, I dropped my phone, so now it's got cracks all over it. It's so tragic, actually. Oh, and it's so hot because there aren't any trees. So, yeah. It's not a nice day to be walking, actually, either. This isn't a walkable city. You don't want to walk here. You don't want to take public transit here. You want to bike. You don't want to... Is that... They are scraping the line with that. Oh, it's not private. Oh, that makes sense. Otherwise I would say that's a little far. God, it's so hot out here. But you know what's more hot? To stay in the sun because there aren't any trees and waiting for a bus that comes every 60 minutes if you're lucky. It's like that. Just stand there waiting for it. I know how it feels to be waiting for a bus and waiting for public transit in general. You really want to have, you know, a sense of when it's coming. Can we go down here? Yeah. It's a perfectly good path to go down. But, you know, basically, I think public transit is not even about ridership. It's not about whether people use it or not. It's about if people have the possibility to use it. And I think we should probably think in those ways. And you know, if people's car or bicycle broke down, you really want to have a public transit net to pick you up. I haven't even told about the other day. Because the first day, I wrote for 30 minutes all around the city to get to the city centre from out here. And it cost me like 20 krona, which is, what's that in oil? That's maybe like 3 or 4 oil, which I think is so much, like unbelievably high price for getting that short, and also in that amount of time. So I think the problem is that the ticket prices are way too high. The frequencies are way too low. And I mean, I don't believe that public transit should be funded by the tickets. That really doesn't make sense in a place like this. It should be funded by the benefits that public transit serve. So I really need to adjust my hair. It's right in my face. Oh god, my phone is so cracked. That's so tragic. Oh. I set it on the back of my bicycle, and I thought it would work out, and then the next thing I see it's literally just the phone falling off. Oh. I've never understood what that is, by the way. Oh. I mean, yeah, sure. What happens if we just continue? We're on our way out of the city right now. So I really want to know what happens if we just continue. I can't quite decide if it stops down there, or if it actually continues. We'll just have to find out. But I will say there are a lot of mosquitoes for my liking. Well, too many, I have to say so myself. It smells of like hospital, or nursing home. You know that smell of like hot food, but made in an institution where people generally dies? Is that smell right now? I can't really think. I don't think it comes from over there. Well, anyways, the point is that I don't think that people should be required to use private transportation on that way. It's a hassle to walk, and it's almost even more a hassle in many places to take the bus. And I think that's really sad. And I mean, yeah, the bicycle isn't an obvious candidate for competition with buses, but cars really are, actually, because cars are literally in the same traffic as buses. Yet still, there are so many cars and absolutely no one in the buses. And, I can really... Oh my god, that's a slug there. Look at how big that slug is. Well, it's the place that you are when you're out here. I really hope that they are the biggest animal that are out here. Oh, brilliant. Now we can't go further, can we? Wait, we can just walk around. Or what? Or does it continue? I think we can just walk around it, actually. Yeah, there's a path out there. Yeah, we can literally just go around it. Oh my god. I've never been here before. It's the first time. Like many of the places that I've been in my videos until now have been places that I've actually been before. But I've never been here. I don't even know if you can get out alive or something. Well, that's a bit extreme. But theoretically, there could come a ginormous dragon and just burn me to the ground without anyone noticing for the next 1 hour and a half. Oh my god. What even is that? Like, I need to park right here. I really want to get a closer look at that. What in the world is that? Is that like one of those that are like poisonous or something? Have I just discovered, one of those poisonous things? I only thought they lived on Bornholm. But I don't really know for sure. Well, now it's gone. I actually really don't. I really do not hope at all that it's poisonous. Because if there's one here, how many is there to come? Well, anyway, we continue. Nothing has happened. And I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. I'm discovering more and more fun stuff out here. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be walking here. But the thing is, if my bike were to break down again, it would just be a nightmare to... Oh my god, is that a dog forest? Okay, it's that way. Perfect. We go the other way, I think. The thing is that if my bicycle broke down here, it would be a nightmare for me to actually get home, because I would have to, take the bus or just walk. And in many cases, walking would actually be faster because of a combined waiting time and going around the city time. I get it. You want to save money by combining lines or something. But at some point it just feels like a hop on hop off city tour bus instead of a real one. That's holy moly. Oh, was a little too fast, wasn't it? Where am I even? Suddenly there were cars all over the place. I have no idea where I am or how to get back. Can I walk alongside this road? Or am I not allowed to do that either? I was just about to say, is that another bus? But it really wasn't actually. I think I can walk along it. As long as the cars know that I'm here. But, you know, I don't really know if I'm supposed to. I don't care about, you know, privacy and all that. I will film the cars if they run me over. It would make for a great video title. It would be a little annoying though. Oh, it's over there that you walk. I thought so. Okay, this area out here looks disgusting. Look at how sad it looks. It's literally just those kinds of roads. Why am I always, by the way, walking hilariously sad places? I mean, literally, it feels like I'm never walking anywhere else. Like, one time I'm walking down at the harbour, another time I'm walking out here, that time I'm walking in an area that looks way too much like this. Well, actually, those colours really make the building look fine. It actually looks pretty good, if I have to say so myself. This is one of the reasons why we need a public transit system. You are miserable if you're walking out here. Like, unironically. Oh, that smells so bad. It's pretty windy as well. But you know, you aren't really miserable if you are cycling. What's that building even? Oh, is that the high school? I think that's a high school. There's a nearby high school here. And I think a lot of the people that live over there live there because they go to that high school. Or, you know, it isn't really called a high school in Denmark. It's called a gymnasium. Because we're so smart like that. It doesn't mean that it isn't a more beautiful area. It doesn't mean that I'm less sad than my phone screen I cracked. That actually is really sad, I think. Because I got that phone screen back in 2022 and it's already broken. Just by, you know, a small fall like that. I will probably have to buy a new screen. But you know, actually it's a bus stop there. But look at how many that wait for the bus there. I know that it's in the middle of the day, but there are actually fairly many people that are out cycling and driving. But there really aren't any people that want to take the bus because it's too inconvenient, sadly. And you know, I'm one of those people. I feel bad as well. I just want to get around for free, and I want to get around as I please. And I think that's it's the good thing about private transportation. The good thing about public transportation is that you don't really have to think about where you're going, because because the driver will do that for you. But at some point, it isn't really worth it. So yeah, we're basically at that point here, and that's why the bus service is so bad. Anyway, I will hopefully not be taking the bus in a long time. I've done it a couple of times. It's never gone great. Like, the routes are stupid, the timing are stupid. It isn't really a great system overall. One of the days I was going just 2 kilometers down there. I have to go around the entire city with the bus just because they decided to. So I walked that 2 kilometers. And I mean, that's fine for me, but it's really not for the bus system, which is a little sad. So yeah, how are you doing? Goodbye.